Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is M. Rambabu, Assistant Professor of English, GOVT College, SATHUPALLY, Khammam District. The topic for today's discussion is verb. This topic is meant for BA, BSc and BCom semester 1 students of first year studying in KAKATIYA University. Now let's learn about verb. What's called a verb and how the verb functions in the sentence and the different kinds of verbs. We can discuss all these things here. What's called a verb? Verb is a word used to describe an action, state, or occurrence, and forming the main part of the predicate of a sentence. By looking at the sentence, we can understand that verb describes an action, state, or occurrence. Moreover, it forms the main part of the predicate of the sentence. Verb is an integral part of the predicate. Without verb, we cannot construct a sentence. That's clear. Verbs are known as action words as well as doing words. Let's look at the sentence. Let's look at an example here. This fruit tastes sweet. This fruit tastes sweet. Here, this fruit is the subject. Taste sweet is predicate. Taste sweet is predicate. Predicate contains the verb tastes here. So here the sentence contains subject and predicate, and predicate is the main part of verb is the main part of the predicate in the sentence. If you look at the slide here, you can understand that there are two kinds of verbs. What are the two kinds mentioned here? Transitive and intransitive. There are two kinds of verbs, transitive and intransitive. Now let's know what the transitive verb and the intransitive verb. Look at the sentences given here. I walked. I walked. I is a subject. Walked is a verb. I walked what? Walked what? You cannot give the answer here. Raju laughed. Raju laughed. Laughed what? No answer. You don't get any answer for that. So here, these two sentences tell us that they don't need objects. I walked doesn't need an object. In the same way, Raju laughed doesn't need an object. So, the verbs in these two sentences, walked and laughed, are intransitive verbs because the verbs don't run into objects. They don't need objects in the sentences. That's why they are known as intransitive verbs. In the same way, let's look at the other examples. I ate. What did I eat? It could be anything, an apple, a banana, or some fruits, some sweets, anything. It could be anything. So here, the verb ate, the verb ate runs into an object. In the same way, my friend saw. What did my friend see? He could see a movie, a serial, or a cricket match, or something else. So, this sentence also needs an object here. These two sentences run into the objects. So, the verbs in these two sentences, ate and saw, are transitive verbs. They are known as transitive verbs. So, by looking at the examples here, we can understand that the verb that needs an object is a transitive verb, and the verb that doesn't need an object is called an intransitive verb. Now, let's look at a picture here. What can you see in the picture? The players are there. Cricketers are there. What are they doing? They are playing cricket. They are playing cricket. What are they playing? They are playing cricket. They are playing cricket. What are they playing? Cricket. Here, playing is an action word, verb, and cricket is the object here. So here, playing, the verb playing is a transitive verb. They are playing cricket. In this sentence, the verb playing is a transitive verb because it's running into an object. Let's look at another picture here. It's a beautiful picture showing our beloved Prime Minister Ji, Sri Narendra Modi, doing yoga. What is our PM doing? Yoga. Sri Narendra Modi Ji is doing yoga. Sri Narendra Modi Ji is doing yoga. What's he doing? Yoga. So here, doing is running into an object. Doing is running into an object, yoga. So here, our PM, Sri Narendra Modi Ji, is doing yoga. In that sentence, doing is a transitive verb because it's running into an object. The verb which must be followed by an object is called a transitive verb. Here, the transitive verb always needs an object in the sentence. He wrote a letter. I wrote a letter. What did I write? A letter. A letter is object here. She messaged her friend. Who did she message? Her friend. Her friend is object here. Ramu speaks English. What does Ramu speak? English. In all these sentences, the verbs wrote, messaged, and speaks are transitive verbs because they need objects. They are running into objects in these sentences, in the sentences given here. So they are transitive verb. Now let's go to intransitive verb. If you look at the sentences here, you can understand what the intransitive verb is. He smiled. He smiled. What? No answer. They sleep too much. They sleep what? You cannot get answer. I walked for 2 miles. I walked. What? You cannot get the answer here. It means the verb smiled, sleep, walked are not running into objects. He smiled. He is a subject. Smiled is a verb. Here, smile doesn't need any object. They sleep too much. They sleep too much. Here, too much is adverb. Too much is adverb. I walked for 2 kilometers. I walked for 2 kilometers. Walked for 2 kilometers. Walked is verb, and for 2 kilometers is adverb. Here, we can't find any object in the given sentences. They are not, the verbs are not running into objects here. So, smiled, sleep, walked, don't lead to objects in the sentences. So, they are intransitive verbs. They are intransitive verbs. So, here, we can understand that there are two kinds of verbs, basically. What are they? Transitive and intransitive. What is called a transitive verb? The verb that needs an object in the sentence is called a transitive verb. And what's called an intransitive verb? The verb that doesn't need an object in the sentence is called an intransitive verb. Now let's look at some sentences here. The glass fell down and broke into pieces. Here, in the first sentence, the glass broke itself. The glass broke itself into pieces. We can't find object in the sentence here. So, broke in the first sentence is intransitive. And he broke the glass into pieces. He broke the glass into pieces. What did he break? The glass. So here, in this sentence, in sentence 2, broke needs an object. The object is glass here. So, the broke in the second sentence is transitive. In the same way, the bell rang. The bell rang. The bell is the subject, rang is object. It doesn't need an object in this sentence. So, rang in this sentence is intransitive. And let's look at another sentence here. The peon rang the bell. The peon rang the bell. What did the peon ring? The bell. Here, the bell is the object in the sentence. So here, this sentence needs an object. So rang here in this sentence is transitive. So we can understand that the verb sometimes act like both transitive and intransitive according to the situation. Let's look at a picture here. What does this picture show? A woman is walking along her child. A woman is walking along her child. A woman is walking. A woman is walking. They are walking. They are walking. So here, walking doesn't need any object. So here, walking is intransitive verb. They are walking. In this sentence, walking doesn't need object. So, walking is intransitive. And let's form another sentence here. Looking at the picture. The baby is walking, the woman is walking her child. The woman is walking her child. What is the woman walking? Her child. What's the woman walking? Her child. So here, walking, the verb walking has an object. The child is object here. So here walking is transitive. So the verb walking acts as both the transitive and intransitive in two different sentences. In the first sentence, they are walking. Walking is intransitive. And the second sentence, the woman is walking her child. The woman is walking her child. Walking is transitive because it has an object. The child is object there. Let's look at another picture here. What can you find here? Birds. You can find birds flying. What are the birds doing? They are flying. They are flying in the sky. The birds are flying in the sky. The birds are flying. The birds are flying. Flying what? You cannot say anything. You don't get any answer for that question. So here, flying doesn't run into an object in the sentence. So here, flying is intransitive verb. Now let's look at another picture. Here we find a cat. What's a cat doing? The cat is sleeping. The cat is sleeping. Sleeping what? You don't get any answer. Here, sleeping is intransitive verb because it doesn't need any object. The cat is sleeping. The cat is sleeping. Here, sleeping is intransitive verb. And as all of you know, we find different kinds of verbs in the sentences. Sometimes main verb and auxiliaries sometimes. It means verbs are divided into two, main verb and auxiliary. Verbs are divided into two, main verbs and auxiliaries. Look at the sentences given here. I don't speak Tamil. I don't speak Tamil. I don't speak Tamil. Speak is the main verb here, and don't is auxiliary or helping verb. It helps the main verb. It supports the main verb. So the verb that supports the main verb is called auxiliary or helping verb. He is reading a book. He is reading a book. Here reading is the main verb and is the auxiliary. And in the same way, I have made a mistake. I have made a mistake. Made is a main verb, have is auxiliary. So we can find, sometimes we can find main verbs as well as auxiliaries in the sentences. Auxiliary means the verb that supports the main verb. The verb that supports the main verb is called an auxiliary or helping verb. And here, if you look at the table here, you can find do forms, have forms, and be forms. What are do forms? Do, does, did. Do you like swimming? Do you know how to swim? Do you know how to swim? Know is the main verb. Do is the helping verb here. And does your mother speak English? Does your mother speak English? Does is the helping verb. Did you attend the exam yesterday? Did you attend the exam yesterday? Did is the helping verb. Attend is the main verb. And have forms. Have, has, had. These are have forms. And have forms, do forms, have forms, and be forms. They act as both main verb and helping verbs according to the situation. And here, I have a pen. Have is a main verb. But I have invited my friends. I have invited. Have invited. Invited is the main verb. Have is the auxiliary or helping verb. In the same way, am, is, are, was, were, be, been, these are all called be forms. They also act as both main verbs and helping verbs. They act as both the main verbs and helping verbs. I am a student. I am a student. Am is the main verb. But I am invited for the dinner. I am invited. Am invited. I am invited for the dinner. Here am is the helping verb. She is an actor. She is an actor. Is the main verb. But she is punished. She is punished. Punished is the main verb and is the helping verb. In the same way, was, were, be, been. These act as both the main verbs and helping verbs. Now, let's look at modal helping verbs. Modal helping verbs. What are the modal helping verbs here? Can, could, will, and its past form would, may, might, shall, should, must, but generally had to sometimes is taken as its past form, and ought to. These are the modal helping verbs. Can, could, will, would, may, might, shall, should, must, ought to. These are the modal helping verbs. Can you sing a song for me? Can you sing a song for me? Can you sing a song for me? Sing is a main verb, but here can is the modal helping verb. Could you sing for me? Here could, past tense is used. Past tense of could is used. Could you sing for me? Would you mind opening the door, please? Would you mind opening the door, please? It may rain today. It may rain today. Rain is a main verb and may is modal helping verb. Or it might rain. It might rain. He might be absent yesterday. He might be absent yesterday. Might be, might. Shall I leave the class? Shall I leave the class? Shall is the modal helping verb. You should work hard. You should work hard. You must attend all the classes. You must attend all the classes. You ought to donate to the poor people. You ought to donate to the poor people. Obligation, moral obligation. Ought to is used to express moral obligation. So here, can, could, will, would, may, might, shall, should, must, ought to. These are modal helping verbs. Now let's look at the sentences here. I can run like a deer. I can run like a deer. Here, can is the modal helping verb. Shall I leave the class? Shall I leave the class? Leave is the main verb. Shall is modal helping verb. It may rain. It may rain. Rain is a verb, main verb, and may is modal helping verb. You must meet the principal. You must meet the principal. Meet is the main verb. Must is modal helping verb. You ought to work hard for good results. You ought to work hard. You ought to work hard. Work is the main verb. Ought to is modal helping verb. In the same way, they should be present here right now. They should be present here right now. Here, should is the modal helping verb. Can, shall, may, must, ought to, and should. These are all modal helping verbs. And now semi-modal helping verbs. Semi-modal helping verbs. Dare, need, dare, used to. Need, dare, used to. These are called semi-modal helping verbs. Let's look at some sentences here. We need to go there in time. We need to go there in time. Here, need is semi-modal helping verb. Need. You need not pay the fee for the exams. You need not pay the fee for the exams. Here, need not. And in the same way, dare. How dare you come inside? How dare you come inside? You dare not ask your boss for hike of the salary. Or you don't dare to ask your boss for hike of the salary. You dare not ask your boss for hike of the salary. And in the same way, use it to. We use it to play kabaddi while at school. We use it to. Generally, use it to is used for discontinued past actions. It means that the actions are not in force now. We use it to play kabaddi while at school. It means when we were at school, we played kabaddi. Not now. We didn't use to swim in the tanks. It's negative form. We didn't use to swim in the tanks. So here, need, dare, use it to. These are known as semi-modal helping verbs. These are known as semi-modal helping verbs. So here, dear friends, we have discussed verb and different kinds of verbs, transitive and intransitive verbs, and helping verbs, modal verbs, and semi-modal verbs. As all of you know, verb is an integral part of a predicate. And predicate is a part of the sentence. Predicate is a part of the sentence. So here, verb plays an important role in a sentence. So verb is an important part in the sentence, as all of you know. So students, thank you very much for watching this video. And let's meet again with another topic in course of time. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video.